trying to find ways out. If you want to try, you can, but this is an experience that can weaken you even more.
Но, поверь мне, еще никто никогда. Мои практики, человек, который захотел попробовать и получил удовольствие,
Эффекты. Up to now, there was no patients that tried. We're speaking about the water, rain, water. No person that did this felt comfortable about dry fasting and like had any kind of results. It will not bring you any better. Who? The French group? What they did?
They collect this rain water and they like shower.
You know how it happened? Okay, we had a swimming pool there, and it was raining like 5 days in a row. So they were not collecting. It was a small swimming pool that was collecting this rain. And what your Greek friend was doing, he was just taking with the bucket this rainwater and he was showering. It's like freezing douche without having ice, without putting in the fridge. He was just taking from there without collecting it. It was so natural. So it's like doing the freezing douche. And he was doing 3 buckets a few days in a row. He was doing it actually, yeah.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it was not about collecting personally that you put, you think. It was a basin there, and he was taking and having a freezing douche, you know. Because here collecting, I don't know how you can collect, where you can collect. There is no, like, you put 1 bucket, okay, but this 1 bucket, the weather it's quite mild. There we had more cold weather, and it was in the night, it was almost 0. So you can imagine that it was a freezing rainwater. Я рассказываю про ситуацию, потому что она у Арестиса, я думаю, что Арестис ей рассказывал про дождевую воду. Там был бассейн у нас, он оттуда просто брал и обливался, он ее не собирал. То есть ее собрать таким образом. You understand my point? So it can be done if it is done naturally and you're ready to do the freezing douche over.
Скажи, все, что надо, я ее пользуюсь, я бы уже давно ей.
If you there would be something useful for your health, he would already told you.
Да, она была на Алтае.
If you would be in Altai, you would be receiving these bites of bears, flying monsters. You would have the complex treatment. Она приедет.
Нет.
Она спрашивала еще про апрель. Вы в Монтенегро. Everything else is just like kind of fairy tales. And of course, it would be like a mountain river here, strong one, like. And of course, I would suggest you at the end, few days maybe, by the end to shower you with this water for better, complete purification of the body. He would suggest you that. But as for now, we are doing what we can with the conditions that we have. Only patience and the silence. It's are the strongest qualities of the person. As Japanese people say, silence is gold. And the patience, it's stronger than the sword, samurai sword.
Есть еще вопрос?
Any questions?
One
Yeah.
referencing bacteria, viruses, these things. I have never seen in his books or anything about like microplastic, small plastics.
Ah.
Any thoughts on this?
Вот мы сейчас очищаемся от разных бактерий, вирусов в том числе, а вы никогда не упоминали ни в вашей книжке, ни в ваших разговорах про микропластик, который попадает в организм человека.
Для организма нет разницы.
For the body, there is no difference.
Tatiana, excuse me, Tatiana. We are not able to hear the question that
Inside,
these people are asking.
doesn't belong. Naomi?
Tatiana, we are sorry, we can't hear.
The question was about microplastic. The microplastic that in any case a person have receiving somehow inside. Что вы... Давай.
Скажи, у меня была пациентка с Америки.
She had a patient from America with the Lyme disease
которая была офигенная концентрация.
that had the concentration of ртуть, не помню, ртуть, не напомнишь?
Ртуть.
Ртуть. What we have in the thermometer, thermostat, mercury. Yeah.
И когда она в Швейцарии сделала исследование,
And when she diagnosed herself in the Switzerland,
ее не нашли болезнь
they didn't discover any Lyme disease
после 11 дней.
after 11 days of dry fasting.
Но концентрация ртути и других металлов была.
But the concentration of mercury and other metals was very, very big.
Ровно через 2 месяца.
After 2 months,
Организм все это.
the body eliminated everything. So what the doctor is saying, body do not recognize like what you have separately, like whatever you don't need, whatever was put somehow inside, injected somehow inside, is eliminating by dry fasting.
Ты же понимаешь, что во время голодания
During the dry fasting,
изменение параметров работы организма.
there is a change of like conditions of working of the body,
Иммунная система вырастает в 6 раз.
and the immune system is increasing 6 times.
Происходит закисление крови.
And there is acidification of the body that
И
is
за счет
happening.
изменения параметров организм начинает вот эту всю гадость, неважно, пластик, не пластик, антибиотики, лекарства, начинает это все выводить.
So thanks to this changing of the body that is happening during the fasting, body starts to eliminate all the antibiotics, like metals, whatever stuff it's not belonging to the body itself.
И нам много было пациентов,
And he had a lot of patients
которые принимали антибиотики 10-15 лет назад.
that were taking like antibiotics like 10, 15 years ago.
И во время голодания их моча пахла антибиотиками.
And during dry fasting, their urine was smelling, had the smell of these antibiotics.
Так что все очень просто.
So everything is quite simple. It's not subdivided by species.
Но он должен понимать, что ничего идеального.
But of course, you have to understand that nothing is perfect,
И что есть такие препараты
that there are such
или
препараты.
консерванты,
So there are some conservants, chemicals
короче, которые очень жестко внедряются.
that are inserting quite badly in our body, very
Пример.
strong.
Вот там в Германии там проходила смена кладбище, и когда выкапывали могилы, в котором прошло, люди там вообще не заметили, они были как...
Like when in Germany recently, where cleaning cemeteries, they are doing it constantly. Once in 30 years, they discovered that bodies are still there, still not destroyed by the nature, by the natural process. They were conservant. They are conservated. So this is the greatest evidence that our body is full of conservants. That's why we have so many diseases right now. Autoimmune diseases, oncological diseases. And when in China it was there were Olympic Games, they wanted to find out the best nutrition for themselves, but they couldn't. Then they just get rid of thinking of it, because it's impossible to give the natural food to 1.5 million of people. But they just accepted their decisions because they said we have no other options. And China, we have to think about it, it's feeding all the world. So, like, connections. So nothing is fatal, but nothing is so simple. So if you will be doing dry fasting, at least you can understand that you can maintain your body at a kind of quality level. And the main thing, during dry fasting, your body eliminates the most ill cell parts of the cells, the illness.
Но когда клетки погибают, они передают свою память молодым клеткам.
And when the cells are dying, they are transmitting their memory information to new cells or to young cells.
Как адекватно выжить в этом?
How to survive in this atmosphere, how to survive, generally how to survive.
И поэтому после голодания ваши молодые клетки будут иметь информацию, как адекватно выжить в это агрессивно окружающее.
So after fasting, your young or new cells will have the information how to survive in this aggressive environment.
Чем полезно ГМО?
What is the advantage of genetically modified organism? Who will not die, will know how to survive.
Смысл, почему мы не можем победить рак?
So why we cannot heal the oncological diseases, like we can?
Первая причина, потому что мы боремся с конкретно только раковыми клетками.
The first reason is because we are fighting directly the cancer cells.
Рак это не
We are not looking at whole body. We are not seeing the causes in whole body. We are looking only at one thing, only cancer cells.
И второй вариант. Раковые клетки у них очень сильное деление. Они очень сильно делятся.
And cancer cells, we have to remember that they are dividing very, very quickly.
И когда мы применяем химиотерапию, облучения,
And when we are using chemotherapy,
погибнет самое слабое.
will die the weakest cancer cells.
А останутся самые.
The strongest cancer cells will still survive.
Какой они потомство?
Какой?
Какой они потомство? Такой же.
What kind of generation they will recreate? Strong cancer generation.
Получается, что современная медицина тренирует рак.
What is modern medicine? They are just training their cancer cells,
Но не лечит.
but not curing it.
Я вам еще больше скажу по современным исследованиям, которые они не делают.
So the modern investigation, how do you say it? Research. Thank you.
Современные раковые клетки научились синтезировать насосы.
The modern cancer cells learned how to synthesize the pumps.
Они могут выкачивать химию.
So they are pumping out the chemotherapy that is happening.
А здоровые клетки там.
But healthy cells do not do it. So cancer cells are pumping out the chemotherapy and healthy cells, no.
Но химиотерапия очень дорогая.
But chemotherapy, it's a very expensive procedure.
И поэтому про эти исследования никогда не узнаете.
So this kind of research you will never find in Google.
И вот то же самое в природе все одинаково.
So in nature, everything is the same.
С помощью сухого голодания
Thanks to dry fasting,
вы будете тренировать свои здоровые структуры,
you will be training your healthy cells
которые будут адекватно реагировать на вот эту экологическую ситуацию, там, питание, неважно.
that will face in a good way the environment that is surrounding us.
Все одинаково.
All is the same.
Здесь мы тренируем плохую сторону, здесь тренируем хорошую.
So in the modern medicine, we are training the bad cells. In this dry fasting way, natural way, we're training the good cells.
Но законы одинаковые.
But the laws are the same.
Выживает сильнейший.
Only the strongest will survive.
У нас на Алтае есть кедровая тайга.
We have in Altai cedar taiga forest.
Кедр – это самое энергетическое дерево.
Cedar is the strongest tree, energetical strongest tree.
Если мы возьмем пробу земли,
And if we will take the soil, like we will diagnose the soil where the cedar are growing,
там нет бактерий,
there are no bacteria there.
там все стерильно.
Everything is sterilized there.
И даже стерильнее, чем операция.
It's more sterile than in the surgery department. But
У нас есть очевидно.
we have animal who are going into the forest, to the mountain, who are meditating the animals. I don't remember.
Как бы староверы, отшельники.
Like all people who are going away or out of civilization.
Которые жили в этой тайге.
Eremit, exactly, eremit. Yeah.
И они погибли от простого контакта с журналистами, от простого банального вирусного инфекции.
And they died from the simple communication with the journalists, by simple viruses. They just died
Потому что иммунитет у них был стерильный.
because they had a sterile immune system.
Не было бактерий, все было чисто.
They didn't have any bacteria to train their body. Everything was too clean.
И вот из всех отшельников осталась только одна.
And from all that eremites, the only one left.
Все остальные умерли.
All others died with the contact with the external world.
От простого контакта с людьми.
By simple contact with other people who were not from their own sterile environment.
И поэтому я для чего это сказал?
Why I'm telling all this?
Мы не можем создать стерильную среду.
We cannot recreate sterile environment around us.
Если мы будем правильно голодать, правильно выходить,
But if we will be fasting in a good way, in a like suggested way, and going out of the fasting in the same suggested way,
мы сможем натренировать свой организм.
we can train our body.
И он будет адекватно реагировать на вот эти реальные условия.
That can be able to face in a equilibrated, adequate way their life, modern life.
Это понятно.
Is it clear?
Почему накрасила ногу?
Why your nails are red? Fire, огонь. No. What does that mean? Она любит мужчин, поэтому. Okay. This is your subconscious that is speaking. Other question, guys?
I just have one question.
Yeah. There's a question here. With
One
us.
second, Frederick, 1 second.
Okay.
Есть какая-то самая удачная позиция во время сна, при которой, в которой нужно находиться? On the belly. Для чего?
Потому что, когда мы спим на животе,
When we sleep on the belly,
происходит максимальный массаж почки, правой почки женщины.
we massage in that way the right kidney and the that one, gallbladder, yeah.
И замечено, кто спит на животе, то наименьшее количество кровей.
And you will have less stones in the can you pronounce it good, because I forgot? Gallbladder. Yeah. Less stones, more health, and internal massage.
И обрати на живот.
And watch always the animals,
А кошек,
dogs or cats.
если кошка спит на спине, это
If the cat is lying on the back,
одна проблема.
means that she has problems with kidneys.
Ни одно здоровое животное не должно спать на спине, оно должно спать только на животе.
No healthy animal is sleeping on the back. It's sleeping only on the belly.
Это закон.
This is the law
Ну,
of the
всё.
nature. Тут Фредерик еще вопрос. Yeah, Frederick, give me a question. Frederick, your question, please. Are you here with us?
Yes. Yeah, there's one in the chat, and
Yeah.
there's another one that is going. We already asked it earlier. I would like to know the benefits of dosing. That one that
Benefits
you
of what?
dosing. The one that you are doing, pouring water on yourself. What? Called
Freezing douche, you mean?
DOUSING. Yes.
We already answered that questions in the previous conference. It's about the heating of the body.
Cooling.
So you're asking about the freezing douche. What's the other benefits?
Benefits. Yes.
Ну, он опять спрашивает про для чего нужно обливаться.
Я уже это объясняю.
Yeah, but we just like last time that we saw each other, we spoke about that.
Когда мы обливаемся, температура тела повышается до 40 градусов. Если температура меньше 10 градусов.
So when we are doing the freezing douche, that the water has to be less than 11 degrees Celsius. Do you remember that I was telling you?
Yes.
No, but we did it last time together with the. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm the one asking the question.
Yeah.
So I do understand that the water has to be 11 degrees and below. I do understand that. And going through the dry fasting now, what I wanted to find out, because he also mentioned that when you're douching, it could make the fast difficult unless I misunderstood him. So I wanted to know, before I get into it, what are the benefits of douching? Do I have to do it or can I eliminate it during my dry fast? Sorry, my throat is really dry.
Она, значит, там девушка, она сейчас голодает на сухую, и она говорит, что вы говорили, что это полезно, но могут быть какие-то сложности в ее случае, чтобы она проходила голодание. Она просто не знает, сейчас обливаться или не обливаться. So when we are using this freezing douche like 3 times per day, 3 buckets each time that you are freezing, that you are powering the water over yourself with the bare foot on the earth. So this is the best way, right? And the water has to be 11 degrees less 11 degrees Celsius. It's very good for your body because the temperature increasing up to 40 degrees Celsius. That like bad cells, like cancer cells, for example, are not supporting the heating inside. But what is doctor saying? That it's will be much harder for you to go through the dry fasting. So you can do it. It's better, but it's harder. It's better to go through, but it's harder that way. Yeah, you will have this like kind of challenge for you because it will be a few times harder to pass through the dry fasting if you will be doing this freezing douche for you.
Okay.
So you can try. It's not like obligatory way of dry fasting. No, like in our group, for example, we have only one person that is doing dry freezing douche because you don't have to do. I'm repeating what the doctor was saying the last time. So sorry if I'm answering you. The doctor was saying you don't have to experience on dry fasting. If it is your normal way of habit, for example, you get used to use the freezing douche in your regular life as well, or you were dry fasting like 1 day, 3 days, and you were using freezing douche. It's good because for body it will not be a stress. It will be some kind of normality, and it will not weaken. It will not weaken you. But if you didn't use and never tried, and it's your first maybe long dry fasting, you may not go through this dry fasting for a long time. You will, your mind can be weakened by the water touch, and you may not be able to go through many days because you will be in touch with water.
Yeah,
and it will weaken your mind.
Thank you.
But yes, much more, many times harder.
Скажи, поэтому она просто пускай попробует и посмотрит.
So you can try how you feel, how you react, how your body is reacting, how your mind is reacting, and then decide for yourself if it is a good way for you to go through dry fasting with the freezing douche or without. How you react.
I'll leave it for now because I'm already struggling.
Yeah.
О чем это?
Вот это? Okay. Yeah, you have to decide what is good for you. Like, take care of your mind. It's very important. It's tricky mind, I know.
Yeah.
Do you know what's a bit about? Это с рождения.
Я и говорю.
Do you know what it's about?
No.
Я не знаю.
Это в прошлой жизни сюда было родение.
In the previous life, like in the past life, you have injured there, like maybe some arrow that passed through, and maybe bullet, something. Yeah. The doctor left us for his patients because we are having treatments. Yeah, and we had this like half an hour of break for everyone to speak with the doctor. So doctor left. That's why I'm switching off the connection. Okay, guys, if you have questions, you may
just
write
1
to
minute.
Frederick. Yeah, Frederick.
Just 1 minute. There was a question that he was to answer, and I think because we logged in late, we overlooked it. We overlooked the question. There's a question about thinning of blood after the issues
Thinning
of
of
blood
what?
clots. Issues of blood clots. Blood clots. But anyway, he will still answer it. Maybe tomorrow or another time we are going to meet. I just needed you to give us a summary of what he talked before we came in, because it's like we logged in a little late, 10 minutes late.
We were answering the questions. I don't remember what we started with actually. We're speaking too much.
You can just
I'm not remember.
So you're also going to help us. You're also going to help us get even a little of what we missed.
With what we started.
I don't want to answer because
Oh, it was a question and answer sessions. Was it a question and answer
session? It was
session?
about, I don't remember actually. We were speaking about a lot of things. Mostly we were speaking like the last thing that when you were connecting, we were speaking about rain. If to shower yourself in the douche or shower yourself with the rainwater. So these things were discussed, and of course it's better not. Like shortly, breathing and breathe, better not.
Okay. So maybe we meet again.
Yeah.
We connect tomorrow.
Can you say? I don't understand the question about blood actually. Let me see the question in the chat.
It is in the chat. The chat. But I think we'll be able to answer it tomorrow.
I don't see this. Can you write down right now, because I can understand how you.
I can read it. How long after developing a blood clot in the leg during almost a 10-day dry fast?
Can you write it? Can you write it down?
Again.
Because I don't see this question. I don't see this question, and I don't understand this in English.
Okay.
Maybe like reading, I will understand it better.
Okay. There it goes. It's there now.
Okay. Yes. So I copied the question, and the next time when we will have the conference, we will start with this question.
Okay.
The doctor is not here.
No
Okay,
problem.
Frederick.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
So
Bye.
see you. Bye bye.